Now, this is how you know the department had to go, and the Democrats' defense of it is completely inexplicable. Here's MSNBC asking a former secretary of the Department of Education why test scores are so bad after all these years.
You know, Secretary King, what is also true is that students' test scores hit an all-time low last year. Why do you think that is, and what do you think should be done to improve that?
Look, we are still struggling with the impact of COVID. So many students' lives were disrupted in dramatic ways by the COVID crisis. Our performance as a country is below where it was before COVID. We ought to be having a conversation about what we do about that. We know, for example, that intensive tutoring can help students make very rapid progress. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the dismantling of the department. We haven't heard any ideas from the Trump administration about how we actually improve education in this country. That's the conversation we desperately need to have.
Yes, you haven't heard Trump give any suggestions. I don't know what world this guy's living in, but that's the whole point. He believes the federal government shouldn't be involved. These local school districts will know how best to help their students get ahead, not 50,000 nameless, faceless bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. And to his point, our educational outcomes were already abysmal, and COVID just made it worse. And now the old head of the Department of Education under Biden is coming out and trying to say she never advocated for schools to stay closed. Take a listen.
COVID was a terrible time for us. And as you know, because I was on your show a lot and other shows, I wanted schools to be reopened as early as April of 2020. The issue was the fear and the issue was the safety issues. But COVID has really hurt in so many ways. But this has been a Republican talking point for a long time. And
right. It was a Republican talking point. I'm not even going to give any commentary. Let's just watch this video debunking all of that.
And if people are in high risk, they shouldn't be in school. They should be doing things remotely. Just because Donald Trump wants to take a risk with people who go to bars or beaches, those of us who have spent our life teaching kids are not going to take a risk with kids or with our members' lives.
Remote and hybrid are really the only two ways you can reopen schools safely.
You got to delay school opening because if you don't have the mask, how are you going to be able to do this? There's a huge difference between working in Walmart and working in a school.
So not only do the Democrats have zero shame about ruining the educational outcomes of a whole generation, but they also have no shame in wasting $3 trillion of United States taxpayer money on doing the exact same thing they do throughout the rest of the government, which is launder the American people's money back into their own pockets through these NGOs, into these teachers' unions, who conveniently all donated back to who? The Democrats. And because that's exactly what government is and has become, you can understand why the Democrats are fighting tooth and nail to preserve this system. It's two parts. Obviously, they don't want their money laundering slush fund scheme to end. And two, they don't want to be exposed for stealing the American people's money. If Donald Trump can prove that the federal government can be cut in half and work just as well, every single American is going to be looking at every politician of the last 40 years demanding answers. And that's why the establishment is fighting so hard against Donald Trump. So that's why this is such good news. I am thrilled. It is a good day. Another promise made, another promise kept. I tip my hat to you, Mr. President, and let's keep trucking along. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You know we're on the road to 200,000 subscribers. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.